Yo. What up? What up? You know what time it is.
What's the word?
We out here.
Out
Another
there.
Tuesday.
It's coming down. It's going down on this Tuesday,
Another
baby.
Tuesday here at the Spittlez.
Your bidoy Cuban.
It's me, Poch, and thank y'all once again for joining us another week at the Spittlez.
Another week right here down
where
today.
we chop it up.
Today we have vibing with us, not the one and only, the business credit specialist. He's not only the business specialist of credit. You hear me? The nigga is a financial literacy, if I said that right, guru.
Yes, sir. Financial literacy guru.
My boy is doing some things to the wealthy Cam. Thank you, wealthy.
Let's get it, y'all. Appreciate you guys for
joining us, Papa.
Appreciate you guys. Let's get to it.
Yes, sir. Today we're going to chop it up definitely and bring some gems to the table for the community in regards to financial literacy and credit and business funding and all this good stuff that Wealthy Cam specializes in.
For all you people
You hear me?
that's got that credit hurting.
Yes, sir.
I think our last two people, Luke, shout out to Luke.
Shout out to Luke Waldron. Yes, sir.
You need to be hollering at Luke. And now we have another one, another one here.
So don't act like the info's not out there, because it's right here in front of y'all. You heard?
All you gotta
right
do
here in
is
front of y'all.
go get that dog. And yo, Luke, I'm sorry, Cam, I appreciate you for coming. I really appreciate you for taking this time out your busy schedule and coming to sit down and talk credit with our community and helping our community and helping me, because I ain't gonna lie, I kinda need help with that shit too. So I'm gonna learn a thing or two off this podcast, off this broadcast in itself. You understand what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for coming and spreading the knowledge that you have, because not everybody is willing to just spread the knowledge that they have and not really, you're gonna gain something, but not really want to gain something and just out of love of genuinely doing it. So on the behalf of me, Poch, and our community, I'll say thank you and I appreciate you for coming and pulling up to the Spittlez, bro.
That's the beauty of it. Not only do we learn here, but you learn out there as well by tuning in here. And that's why we're having these conversations, because we're not always in the rooms where these conversations are happening. So in this room, we're looking to create these conversations so that we can bring them straight to you. And while you're here joining us in the live chat, feel free to chime in at any given time.
If you got any questions
or anything that you would like to address us or Wealthy Cam with, we're here for you always, because without the community, we're just a couple of fellas here chopping it up.
You know, right? kicking the breeze, just, you know what I'm saying? But now, you know, that's that part of the broadcast. If you got it,
light it.
You know the vibes.
You know what I'm saying? And if you filled your cup, raise it up. You heard? I want to cheers y'all to this episode. Salud to the blessings. My son Cuban poured water over there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Let's get it. No, I definitely appreciate you guys having me. You know, and you brought up the fact that like a lot of people don't like to freely give game. And for me, I feel like I can't help everybody with their credit. So if I put you on, you put your homies on, now that empowers your circle. You're speaking about the empowerment, you feel what I'm saying? And now I put you on, now you change your kids' life, your cousins, your family, and now
we continue to spread
you can mess around, change the whole generation just by a little bit of knowledge. So if I was able to give you the knowledge and you were able to execute on that knowledge, I'll do my thing.
Yeah, because that's the proof right there.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, with the testimonials, you know what I mean? That's most people won't dive into something without the proof being readily available that it actually works. You know what I mean?
They need the proof right there in their face.
Okay, I hear you, but
let me see if that
works. It'd be sketchy.
Niggas will be like, you do it first.
You know what they say? Like, it sound good.
Right? It sound good.
Do it first, and then after it happens with you, then we I'm gonna figure it out. But with that being said, Wealthy, can you tell our community a little bit about yourself? Give them your rundown, your breakdown.
Yeah, for sure, right? So, you know, grew up in a single parent household, right? So I guess I don't want to say it's the norm, but unfortunately, you know, with our people, we just kind of, you know, grow up in, you know, single parent households, whatever the case may be. And I grew up, you know, playing baseball. I was fortunate enough to be good enough for baseball.
What position?
I played second base, a little bit of outfield.
That's what's up.
Right? So I was fortunate, and I feel like that was like my past life, because like 2020, we could definitely talk about that a lot later into the broadcast. But like prior to 2020, my whole life was baseball, right? So if you told me, before 2020 that I'd be up here, teaching people about credit, I'll tell you you're crazy. Because, bro, my whole life was baseball. Like I'm going to the league. I'm gonna help my mom out. I'm gonna help my whole family. This, that, and the third. Right, so I was fortunate enough, to be good enough to get scholarships to go to school.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I want to know what made you not want to do that, man. I'm gonna be real.
But like
transition from not baseball to, because that means you was possibly good and right.
Nah, yeah, I mean, I got scholarships and stuff like that. But Pete, I was forced because of COVID.
Oh, everything was put to a standstill.
2020,
yeah,
everything. So I had
baseball wasn't the same anymore.
Nothing was. Life wasn't
Life
the same.
wasn't the same.
Yeah, it's a fact.
So I had to completely transition to kind of find myself again. Like, okay, listen, if I wanted to go overseas, we could talk about that, once again a lot later. But of course, we can't do nothing. We can't travel. And then I just happened to be around people who's talking about credit, and you are who you surround yourself with. You feel me?
That's a fact. That's definitely a fact.
If you hang around the barbershop long enough, you're gonna get a cut. So you hang around people who talk credit enough, you're gonna start talking credit. So then,
that's a fact.
they showed me the ropes, and then from there it was history. But yeah, so prior to that, I was playing baseball. Once again, super blessed that I had some dope people who poured into me. Coaches and stuff like that. And so I was able to get scholarships. This, that, and the third. And then baseball. Like I'm super grateful for baseball because baseball kind of taught me life. Just hard work. Getting your reps in. Leadership and stuff like that. So that was like my whole life. Prior to baseball. Then of course, when 2020 came, everything shifted.
The Rona happened.
You feel me? So I got into the credit space, but I realized I'm like, the goal was to make sure that I'm able to provide the best life for my mom.
Okay.
And I just had to change the vehicle.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So baseball was the vehicle at first. Now it's just credit. Helping people, turn up with their credit. And then I also realized I can help more people with credit than I can help them with baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, you can make money playing ball, and you got fans, stuff like that. But you can't change people's generations. So once I seen that with credit, I'm like, let me just run with this. And then, history is history.
That's true, because that's how you change someone's generational lineage, basically. By implementing new things that weren't consistent in the previous generations. You know what I mean? Like, I know in my life, I say this wholeheartedly, financial literacy was not a part of the program growing
in
up.
a lot of people's household. In a lot of people's, not even in your household, in a lot of people's households.
It's taboo to talk about credit in the household.
Yo, but and it starts with the image of money in your mind. You feel me?
Yeah.
How you feel about money. And unfortunately for me, I was raised in a household where it was a scarcity mindset, where it wasn't enough and there will never be enough, and when we got it was going to be gone, and it was hard to get it back again. And
it's so common.
And as soon as you get it, it belongs to something.
It's working for nothing.
Yeah.
You feel me?
My mom was doing it. Then I was doing it. My brothers is doing it.
You feel me? It's a whole cycle.
Yeah. At some point, you got to break the chain. Yeah, man.
And one of my favorite sayings is, we pass down trauma more than we pass down good credit. We pass down bad habits. We pass down, just all this trauma, like I mentioned, instead of passing down good credit.
Yes.
You could pass down good credit.
But don't you think that's like, with our people's not really knowing either?
It's just lack of information.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Because don't you think if our family members really would have knew about keeping good credit and not,
they would have taught us that. Yeah, but they didn't know it either.
But then again, let me play devil's advocate. I mean, the information is out there. You can simply Google, ask Alexa, ask Siri, listen,
That's
what
true.
is this?
It wasn't Google in
You
the
don't have
80s.
to wait to be taught.
Yeah. So back then, but nowadays there's no excuse. I mean,
That's
you
true.
have the Spittlez broadcast where you could learn about credit,
Yes,
empower
sir.
yourself. So
You could tap into Wealthy Cam directly.
That's a fact. And you
You
can
start-
hit them up.
You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's free. So I think that there's lack of information, but we have to go and take the time to actually learn the information as well.
Yes, sir.
There's two sides of the
As
coin.
with anything. I mean, me and Cuban wouldn't be doing this broadcast if we didn't dive into the technical aspects, you know what I mean?
Figure
to see how
everything
it's
else
done,
out.
you know?
Exactly.
I started to dive in a little bit on credit a bit myself. So, as we go along through this conversation, I'm gonna elaborate on the things that I've done. And nobody taught me. I just kind of I was looking at the way things was moving in my credit report, and I'm like, wait, so if I do this, then this will happen. I was being analytical, yes. And then when I actually had that chat with a banker one day, he told me that the stuff that I was doing was what he would suggest for me to implement. So
stamp
I
on
was
it,
a
so
step
it's
up,
like,
you know what I mean? And
yeah.
that felt good, you know what I mean? Because I felt like I was figuring some shit out. And I just did that a couple years back, everyone. And, you know, for all of you that are in your 20s and everything watching this, dive onto this right now. If you don't know about it, start looking into it. Listen to what we're saying here today. Tap into Wealthy Cam directly. Tap into the brother Luke Waldron as well. We got people in our community that are chopping these things up for you.
And willing to share the information with you. It's not like he's doing it and tucking it low. My brother is doing it and saying, yo, here, look, it's right here in your face. Just pay attention. If you pay attention and study, like he says, long enough, it'll probably apply to you and work out. You understand what I'm saying?
I want to take a second and say what up to the chat. We got Boogie in here. We got Mama Love. We got Bundy in the building. Thank you for our weekly viewers always being here.
Shouts out to everybody.
So, I hear you saying that you do, when you was telling your origin story, you dived into the transition from baseball to the credit knowledge, right? But once you chose to make that decision to dive into the credit knowledge, where did it take you? Like, what was the rabbit hole like for you? You know what I mean?
I went down a crazy rabbit hole, so it's crazy. And it may sound crazy to people, but, right, so I graduated June 2020, right?
Okay.
So June 2020, I graduated, so in the heart of the pandemic. And then my boy ended up sitting me down. Shout out to my guy Mo. He ended up sitting me down, and he's like, yo, let me show you how to get these credit cards, whatever. So you had that one person that you mentioned where it's like, nah, you do it first. Me, I'm super open-minded. So he sat me down, he got me a couple credit cards. One was my American Express. So I thought only rich white people could have American Express, so he put me on, so that kind of changed my mindset. Then I took the American Express, I used that to invest into a mentorship, and I dropped $5,000 on a credit course. Now to some people that sounds crazy, $5,000 on a course, but once again, I was around people who were dropping 10, 15, 20,000 on courses.
And they were flipping.
Yeah.
So it was an investment. It was a sound investment.
It's not a cost.
Yes.
It's an investment.
You saw that it was a sound investment.
You feel me?
Yes.
So
And you knew that money was going to come back.
Exactly. Why? Because I bet on myself. You never lose when you bet on yourself. It's only a lesson or a dub.
That's a
right?
fact.
So that's how I view it. So, once I invested into that, into him 500. Once again, shout out him 500.
Shouts out to him 500.
He was my mentor. I started being around people who looked like me, that was getting to the bag, that was speaking about credit, speaking about taxes, talking about running a rental car business. And that just exposed my mind that I went down a rabbit hole on how to start a credit repair business. See what I'm saying? On how to start a credit repair business.
What are they doing? I'm trying to figure out what they're doing.
Exactly. So then I'm like, yo, listen, let me start my business, let me create my LLC, because he taught that in the course.
Sure.
And then from there, that's how pretty much everything kicked off. So that's how I went down the rabbit hole, and it's got around, the right people. But I'm a big person, like, you gotta pay to play. Like, okay, like YouTube is cool, Google is free, it's cool. But if you really wanna skip the line and speed up your process, you're gonna have to cut that check. You're gonna have to cut that check.
True indeed.
Get that bag up. Everything's about that dollar, nigga. If you're trying to get exactly where you need to be and get your credit to where you need to be so you can do exactly what you really want to do, like he said, he gambled on himself. You have to gamble on yourself. And sometimes in life, us as people, we hesitate to gamble on ourselves because we have that doubt factor, like, oh shit, but what about if this shit don't work? And
let's also keep it 100 though. I'm gonna play devil's advocate for the people that ain't got it in the bank. You heard? Some people want to invest. Some people are willing to invest, but don't have the means.
Yeah.
So how do they get accessibility? You feel me?
So you got people like me who's opening up, free communities. Like, I'm about to drop my free community.
Shout out to
tomorrow, right? Where I do understand that point, because I was in that position at one point where I didn't have it, but I seeked out the information once again on YouTube and stuff like that. So I want to use the free community at least just to give them the foundation of, look, hey, listen, this is how you build your credit. This is how you build relationships with the banks, because credit's all about trust.
We need that. So for anybody inquiring for information, Wealthy Cam is starting his free community.
Free.
Where he's dropping you the gems so that you can make the moves it takes to build up your credit.
It's the 5-finger discount.
Some of us are starting credit. Some of us are starting credit out there. Some of us have ruined it and would like to repair it. Some of us are in process of building it. there's a whole bunch of conversations that could come out of that because, like me, even as a credit consumer as well, my credit utilization is up right now, right? Because I went through a bit of transition in my life where I took on entrepreneurism and I'm self-employed.
It be like that. Listen, I was right there with you.
So I had to spend them cards a little bit, but I do understand the negative factor of that because I see it every day in my score. Because my utilization rate is high, my accounts are high, right? But I've already done this once and I've paid it down.
Yeah.
So I saw what the benefits was. From doing so, like from using it and paying it back. So there's a lot of conversation to be had on that, and people do it in different fashion. Like some people use it all and pay a little.
Like the minimum payment and stuff like that. But let me give you some game on that, right? So you're, using it to start your business. That's why on the business credit side, you can max out the card. It doesn't report to your personal as utilization.
That's beautiful.
Right? So now, that's why I teach people, listen, establish your personal credit, right? Because that's the foundation, and then start to move to the business credit. Set up your LLC, and once you have good credit, you can leverage your good personal credit to get business credit. So say you have a Chase credit card, right, for 0% interest for 12 months. If you max that card out, say, on an investment, so your podcast equipment or whatever the case may be, it's not going to show up on your utilization as like maxed out 100%, right? So you can still have good personal credit and then still use the base money to invest in your business. You
That's if it's a business card, correct?
Oh yeah, of course.
Because I did dive into one of them Chase cards and they gave me that 12 months or APR. I took advantage of that, of course.
Screw that shit up.
You pay back what you spent though.
No, of course.
No interest. They ain't taking no extra from you. So that was the beauty of it for
over
12 months.
Over 12 months. So
trust me, I did a few things and paid it back square.
So the whole thought process with that is, listen, if you're gonna use, say, 10,000 and have no interest for 12 months, use that for an investment and then use the profits to pay off the credit card.
Say what you said again. We on that last part.
So I'm saying, say you have a card, I don't know, you want to spend 10,000 on an investment, right? Say you have to chase business Inc. card, 0% APR for 12 months. If you use that 10,000 to invest in your business, say it's whether it's Toro or car rental, say, right? Or not, say I don't know.
Car rental. Let's just say car rental.
Yeah, car rental, right? Just say car rental. Use the profit from the car to pay off the credit card, and now you're no money out of pocket.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, OPM.
OPM. Yeah. That's my favorite 3 letters of the alphabet.
Yes,
Other people's money.
Other people's money. Yeah.
Yes,
That's a smart way to do it when you're starting up something. But that's not everybody's in that business mindset.
Of course.
So
it's a foundation.
What advice do you have for like the average Joe? That has a credit card and wants to build his
own personal shit?
Credit, to build his name on credit.
I got you.
You feel me? Like use it appropriately to continue to build his status. But because like I said, there's different sides of that. You're talking about the business aspect, which is great because if you have business credit, it does not reflect on your personal credit. But there's individuals out there that want to know mainly about personal credit.
Yeah, let's slow it down. Let's bring it back. We got to jump to the business. Let's bring it back to the personal.
Bring it back to the individual.
I got you.
Where it starts.
The business, everybody's like, oh shit. Personal.
Some people aren't starting a business. Some people not starting a business.
Sure.
Some people want the best credit for their life. Some people trying to get a home. You know what I mean?
Cars, or the simple life stuff. The simple life stuff.
Everyday shit.
That's a fact, right? So the way that I put it is like, start to change your mindset. Let's get paid to pay your bills, right? So there's bills we pay every month, whether it's phone bill, car note, car insurance, everything, right? Let's put those on your credit card because you're gonna pay it anyway.
Exactly.
And then use the money out of your bank account to pay off the credit card, right? So now you're getting points, right? So that's what I mean, like get paid to pay your bills because you should have, exactly.
I did that.
You feel me? Because you should have a card that either gives you points or cash back, which means that when you spend the money, you're going to get a return, whether it's, 1.5% or even, 2 points. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but over time, as you pay your bills, it's going to add up. And now, you start... Cable company don't give you nothing back when you pay your bill directly to them.
No, they don't.
But if you do that hack right there and put it on your credit card that has a cash back, you get money back from your payments. And the good reporting on your credit report. So,
Exactly.
Activity to the bureaus.
And you're starting to talk about, building your credit. So what I'm gonna do for the people, who's watching this, for the Spittlez is if you DM me the word credit. I'm gonna send you my free ebook on how to build your credit from scratch. Right on how to build your credit from scratch, completely free from my people
Nice.
here.
Y'all heard him.
I want to bless the
DM
people.
the word credit.
Credit.
He said
To
DM
Wealthy
him
Cam's
credit.
inbox, and he's gonna send you
Ebook.
an ebook.
Like,
Or even better, you could DM the word the Spittlez.
Oh.
Right, so I know that's where you came from. So
look.
I know that's where you came from. I gotta show love to my guys at the Spittlez. Hospitality been on the
oh my God, I appreciate you.
Got you.
I definitely appreciate you for
Got
that.
you.
Look,
Of course, I'm gonna bless you with it too.
I'm putting that in the chat right now. You
I
heard?
got you.
yeah.
DM the Spittlez.
ASAP, ASAP for an ebook. It's gonna come right directly to you. All you gotta do is
Wealthy
open the
Cam.
PDF right there on your phone, baby.
Underscore.
It's
Wealthy
scroll
Cam
through it.
underscore on IG.
That's it. Everybody, I need everybody to go run that up. Every single last person that's watching now and watching
Go
later.
get your free
go
ebook
get
for that
your
credit
free
building.
ebook. You heard.
Credit advice from the guru himself.
Because it sounds like your credit gonna shoot up with everything that I'm intaking right now.
Yeah,
It
because
sounds
if
like
you
some
aren't doing
positive
that
shit.
smallest move, even that smallest move, you
It
just said, you heard?
sounds like some positive things is coming out this, and I'm starting to get intrigued, man. So I'm like you to keep going, brother.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? So like that's the foundation of it. And then if you want to take it a step back, like just start to build with the banks that you already have a relationship with. So if you have a bank account with Chase or Bank of America, start with the secured credit card or something like that, just to learn how to use a credit card, with your money. And then, once you have on-time payments for 6 to 9 months, those secure credit cards turn to regular credit cards, and now you can spend them as regular credit cards, but you already have that history and that knowledge of how to properly use your credit, so you don't fall back and need to fix your credit, late payments and things like that, right? So start with the banks that you already have a relationship with, and then just build from there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, these are for the individuals who are primarily looking to build their credit now. Like some people go and try to get a credit card randomly and say, "Oh, why did they deny me?" And one factor is
because they didn't have
when
no
people
usage
don't
at all?
have no accounts. Yes.
No usage.
Some people
No
don't know the implication on your report when you have no accounts, no history at all, which is why the first chance you get, if you do get a credit card, when you do get a credit card, you do what he said. Put your bills that you normally pay on that credit card.
That phone bill, that
first credit
Netflix,
card.
phone bill, Netflix. I mean,
Because that's going to be the longest credit card you hold.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
another thing is you don't really close accounts, right?
Nah, so yeah, that's one thing I don't recommend.
you leave them open.
Yeah, the only time I would close an account, and it's very rare, if like somebody maybe has like a store card, like a Macy's card. I know we've all been there. Hey, listen,
I got
save 20%.
I got a Home Depot card.
And then, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
I buy shit.
and I'm not crazy about those cards for two main reasons. One, they usually don't give high limits. They may have 300, 500. What I'm gonna do with that, right?
Yeah,
and then and then two, it's like you're only limited to that one store. As far as the Chase card, where I can use it wherever I want. I can use it at the bodega. I can go buy podcast equipment. I can go get food. I could take my girl
Get
out.
a card covered by a bank.
You feel me? So and you build that relationship, because Chase, if you do decide to start a business in the future, now you've had that 2 or 3 year relationship with them instead of Macy's. Macy's doesn't have business credit cards, no car loans, stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? So
There is one merchant that's pretty cool with that, and that's Apple. My boy went and got
I like
an Apple card. They gave him 8 G's off the rip because his credit score was in the 7s. You know what I'm saying? So they
blessed him.
That's not only for the Apple store.
yeah.
It's for everywhere.
Oh, now the Apple card is lit. I mean,
Yeah.
you get
That's
like
for everything.
You get
2%
cash back and everything. Yeah.
2%
You go to
when you
the
use
store
Apple
and
Pay.
swipe.
Yeah, it's a regular credit card,
you can
bro.
use anything.
That's fine.
And they give it up. They give you a good limit. You know, depending on your credit score, they give you a good limit. They hit me off.
Shout out to
man.
Apple. Shout out to
Shout out to
Apple.
Apple.
Shout out to Apple. You know.
You know what I'm saying? But I had a school loan, right? And before I even had the opportunity to build my credit was hit with that school loan, and there was a negative remark, and it automatically looked bad.
Yo, that's how most people find out about credit. Like,
Yeah, that's-
like get into the
that's how
credit
I
game.
got it.
Unfortunately,
Me, that's
like,
how I got into
we
it.
don't learn about it until, damn, you got student loans. I'm not really trying to pay these. Then you start having these companies start calling you and stuff like that, and then you start realizing, oh shit, like, and then it's
See,
an
and
uphill
I
battle.
never dived in. I was just worried about that school loan. So then the school loan passed that 7-year fall off. So for those that don't know about the 7-year fall off, elaborate on that for a moment before I proceed.
Yeah, so there's a lot of accounts like, you know, collections, you have charge off, you have late payments that after 7 years of the date that it was open, it'll fall off your report. Now the problem with that is some collection companies will sell the debt to another collection company and then it restarts the clock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
As long as they get in touch with you and you acknowledge the debt,
it restarts the clock.
It restarts the clock.
So
if you are close to a 7-year fall off, it is suggested that you keep out of touch, out of sight.
But see, and then like that's where credit repair comes in, because you don't necessarily have to wait 7 years. Who wants to wait 7 years for something to fall off if it might not fall off? So some people may spend, you know, $500, $1,000 to fix their credit, and you can fix your credit yourself. Let me put that out there.
You file a dispute.
On your file your dispute. I'll go to the CFPB website. That's the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And you could dispute it on your own, right? So you don't need to hire a team like mine, you know, now, if you want to, that's cool, I'm all for it, but I'd rather you try to do it yourself first for free, you know, before you pay me or somebody else. You feel what I'm saying? Me or Luke or, you know, whoever it is.
But if you do it yourself, that's like you're gonna try to really figure it out, and if it doesn't work, holla at them.
You feel what I'm saying? So
when you do file for a dispute, I've done it as well. They ask you for questions and everything on why you're filing the dispute. You give your legitimate reason, and if that reason is substantial, they remove it from your report. I had a situation with utilities from a previous marriage. I left them in the crib. I left the utilities on in my name. And I left the household. My ex did not pay the bill. So it was skyrocketing in my name.
And the utility bill is all the way gone?
They put it on my credit report. The bills, the final bill.
Yes,
it was collections. When I disputed it, I specified that it was from a previous marriage and all of that, because it was one of the options that they gave me for the dispute, and they actually removed it for that. So
and you never had to pay anything to it.
Nope, they removed it from my credit report.
That's a real life example of doing it yourself. You know
I don't know if I can go back to those same vendors. It doesn't excuse you from the debt. If they contact you again, like don't think you're gonna get away with it and try to go like, okay, I got the cable bill.
I'm gonna go back over there.
Holla at cable again because it's gone. They cleared it. And then they're gonna be like, no, bro, you owe us.
Shouldn't it be like a time period? Like
they're gonna put it back with you.
Shouldn't they forgive you within like a time period?
As long as they could validate the debt, it's yours, bro.
They should, but they really don't. I mean, just think about it like this. Like, I'll give you an example. Say you have a plug. A plug gives somebody, I don't know, a pound of weed, right, under the arm. He messes up that pack. It could be 5 or 10 years from now. If that same person comes back, he's, bro, what happened to the first pack?
Yeah, what much of that?
Right, so that's exactly
you can't reset the debt.
That's exactly how the banks work. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna remember you.
Trust me.
So for those of you that are looking to dispute something on your credit report, we do want you to understand that it does not negate the debt. It removes it from reporting, which will help your score, but it does not negate the responsibility of the debt.
So, but you still owe them then?
You still owe them, yes you do.
Now, what you can do though, especially if it's a collections, is you can settle the debt. So sometimes these companies will take 30-40% just to get some type of money.
Some out of it, exactly. Because they probably purchased it you get for a certain price too, you know.
10 cents on the dollar, right? So they're still making some type of profit, and now you got a clean slate with them. Now you still may not be able to come back just because you have a bad history. Yes. But now you have nobody harassing you, no debt with them. So now you got a clean slate, no conscience.
You don't have to worry about nobody. Sometimes if a merchant or a loaner cannot validate a debt, then a debt will be cleared indefinitely, right?
So like, there's laws behind that.
If they can't validate that you own the debt or something like that, because I've heard about that
before. They got to prove it. They got to prove that you owe it with documentation. They got to.
And if let's say a company keeps their paperwork for only 5 years, how long? And after that 5 years passed, your paperwork more than likely got shredded. If you dispute the debt and they can't validate the debt, it's gone for good. That is applicable.
And the best thing about that is that they have 30 to 45 days to respond to your dispute. So if they can't find the paperwork in 30 to 35 days,
it's gone.
Listen, you got to get that off my report, bro.
Well,
You got to get that off my report, buddy.
so they got 35 days.
And that they won't collect
30 to
on because
45.
they couldn't validate the debt
You
at all
can't
anyway.
validate
So you don't owe that anymore. Just so y'all aware. There's certain
That's crazy.
stages of that.
It's deep. It's deep.
Yeah,
bro.
it gets real deep, man. That's what I say. It's from the beginning where people haven't done anything, haven't built any accounts, and they're wondering, what do I need to do next to start building accounts? That first piece of advice was vital, because I followed that advice as well. So when you want to start building your initial account, take your already existing expenses that you pay every month, your cell phone bill, and put that on the credit card, and then pay the credit card instead. One thing further on that, though, you want to wait till they report that debt, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, yeah. So say, I don't know,
You want to give them a chance to.
You spend $500, yeah, you want to wait until it shows up. You know, then you can pay, if you want to pay the whole thing, you can. If you want to just pay, you know, $450, cool. If, say, you just want to pay the minimum, please at least pay $10 above the minimum. Most times the minimum is going to be $25, $35. Don't just pay the minimum, because over time you will start paying interest, and then you're going to end up paying way more than what you spent on the credit card.
Because that minimum is going to go straight to that interest.
Yo,
It's not even going to go to your personal.
I've been there before.
I've been there as well.
And with all that, that's how you. This is the start to build them up for your own home.
Yeah.
Build your credit number.
You gotta have the history,
That's
right?
where they respect you at.
Because once again, it's all about trust. So if you're trying to get a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 home, which is on the cheap side, especially if you live in New York.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm not talking about New York. That's crazy.
Yeah. So say I go
But
to
even
Texas,
then,
we in Texas
300
with it.
300
Say
is average,
Pay 250,
Texas.
300, right?
Yeah.
So you have to show a history that you can pay off that much, right? You have to show some type of history that you can pay off with some type of debt. If you have no credit history, you try to get a mortgage, they're gonna be like, yo,
who has ever lent to you? Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that's what I tell people, this is not a cash game.
Nah,
they don't
it's
know
not.
your name with cash.
Nope.
They don't
They
know your
don't.
name, bro.
Yep.
They know the nigga on the dollar bill. They know Benjamin,
Jackson.
yeah, they know
don't
that.
know you.
G-
They
they
be
don't
like,
know
who you? Nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody.
Exactly.
Feel me?
So you got to build that credit, and some of us aren't taught this early. You know,
Yeah.
I learned this down the line when my credit was already shot, and I'm like, what do I do now? And nobody would give me a credit card because I had no accounts. The only account I ever had was the student loan that defaulted. They're like, bro, why would we give you anything? So here's the path that I took, because I want to speak directly, so you can talk to me directly and Cuban directly, as you know what I mean? Because we can answer a lot of questions that people may have out there as well. Because, like I said, there's some people that, and we're going to talk about this a good amount of time. I know that, because we got a lot to talk about, because there's many sides to this. There's the individual side, and then there's that business side, which some of us individuals are trying to dive into. So let's start with the individual, though. So I couldn't get credit cards because I already had a bad history, right? Some of us are out there like that.
Yeah.
So the step that I took after that was to get a secured card.
Yo, so you're literally following my 3-step process on how to build your personal credit. Literally. RBL, repair, build, leverage. So he went through the repair phase by fixing his credit, right? So if you have late payments, collections, charge off, anything that's holding your credit back,
Clean that report
you
up.
got to repair it, you got to clean it up, boom, 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 right? Then you move on to the next phase where he's about to break down, the build phase, where you could use the ebook, right? Make sure you DM me the word the Spittlez, and now you can get accounts like
Get that ebook.
Yeah, you got rent reporters, to report your rent. You got rent reporters,
Well, I don't know about that one.
Rent reporters, you got Rental Karma,
I don't know about
Lockbox.
that
It's
one.
in the
I need
ebook.
that. I pay my rent every month, my
It's
dude.
in the ebook.
Yeah, I'm about to pay it right now.
You feel me? So, right, use accounts like that to build, right?
Wow,
Let those accounts
reporters.
let those accounts build for 3 to 6 months, right? Of on-time payment history, 6 months. If you want to stretch it, 9 to 12 months. Now you're in a position. Now you got a good resume, right? Because your credit report is just your adult resume. Right? You want to get a car, crib, house, whatever.
And look at how you handle money.
You feel me?
How you handle debt. That's what it essentially is. How much can he handle as well? That shit starts to add up, and the more they give you and the more you handle, the more of a prize you are in their eyes. You heard?
Exactly.
Yeah, let's give him more. You heard?
Banks will just start throwing money. And then,
yes,
and
they
then,
do.
and then when you start walking to the bank, hey, Mr. Campbell, you want to apply for a new credit card? They'll start asking you instead of you asking them.
Yeah.
They just want to give it to you now all of a sudden?
Come on.
You know why? Because
you look like you need a
they
car.
make money off the interest. You know what I'm saying? And
That's how they make their
improving
money.
people, right? So they want to give somebody who's shown a track record of being responsible with their credit. You feel what I'm saying? So
Because that's an investment for them.
exactly.
That's like Cuban. You know somebody's let's break it down to the street level.
Let's get it.
You know this homie good with money. His name is great. No matter what you give him, he gonna bring back to you plus some.
He's sanctioned.
You heard? He doing business out there. Some of us are out there too, personal investors, man.
Yeah, tap in.
You know
what I'm saying?
Tap in.
This guy knows what he's doing with money. He's handling business. His operation is lucrative. Let me give him this 10 G's. Let me tell him he got to give me 5 extra back on top. They know you that guy because of your work. They're going to give you that.
Exactly.
You're going to give them back the extra.
Exactly.
They made that extra off of you because they knew it would happen. How did they know that would happen? By your report. By your report.
Resume.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. Most of us don't understand the importance of a credit history in this world, man. Like I said, that cash game don't do no good. You know, I come from the era of the hustlers.
But all they kept was cash. That's all they kept was cash.
Cash in the wall, cash in the ceiling, cash. Come on, man.
Cash.
And then they was like buying motherfucking high-priced whips with this cash. Like,
cash was everything
and getting
around.
away with it.
Cash was everything around.
I don't know. I think that path is. I don't know who's still doing that, but kudos to you. I think that path is faded. You dropping a bag on a Lamborghini with no real proof on how you acquired that. That's a sketchy move, my friend. That's a sketchy move, my friend. Yeah. You know, so if you got to build up your history of credit, but also your earnings. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole game that ties into each other. Like it's the importance of how you are with money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it goes so far past credit, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you what happened, right? So I got that secure card, right?
Okay. So we building now.
Well, I had to clear my report first, so I disputed the utilities bills that I spoke about. They removed that. It hit the 7-year fall off for my student loan. So I'm like, okay, cool. Then the report was empty. I'm like, oh, okay, now
let's get busy.
Let's talk to somebody.
Let's get busy.
Nobody was trying to holler at me. You heard? The first thing I did was go get a car. The salesman in the dealership, he gonna get you that car, right? But what they did for me wasn't smooth. I had like 12 inquiries, right? But
hold on. Let me speak on that real. Oh my, that bothers me.
Go ahead.
So a lot of times when you go into the dealership, especially if you don't have A1 credit, even if you do have good credit, they're gonna run your credit from the north to the south to the east to the west just to try to get you something.
And what that means is that they're asking this banker, that banker, this bank, that bank, will you lend this guy some money?
And every time they ask, it's a hard inquiry in your report. So you may walk out the dealership, like he said, with 12 inquiries. So what you do instead is, once you build up your report, right, you have a good, strong report, you have, good payment history, you've been putting all your bills on your credit card. Now you can go to a Capital One and they'll pre-approve you up to about like $75,000. So now if you're pre-approved with them, you can walk into the bank with a check.
$75,000 for who? An individual or a business?
Yeah, no, it's personal. It's a personal loan.
If your credit is A1.
If your credit is good. Now, even if you have, say,
that's a lot of bag to throw out.
So
niggas just throwing it. If
now
the
70
A1.
You feel me? But you may not need $75,000. You just want to get.
But some people got good. But some people got good credit, right? Like simply because they didn't do nothing with it. Like it's always been at a 7 or whatever the case would be. Those people won't get approved for $75,000, right? Because they don't have no activity.
Nah, not at all.
They gotta start small, right?
So you can still get approved for $20,000, $25,000, which is one of the lowest tiers. Yeah, so that's and start off with that. Cause that was my first car. I got approved. I think it was like $15,000 to use Nissan Sentra.
You went to ask for yourself though.
So I went through one of my boys, but I told them. So one thing you can do when you go to the dealership, let them know. Listen, do not run my credit to a million different banks. Go to one bank, one lender, and see if they'll approve me. But even before that, go to a credit union because they're a lot more lenient when it comes to bad credit. 650, 660, 670. And if you don't know what a credit union is, it's just a smaller bank, right? And you have way better rates on cars and credit cards and things like that.
Yeah, I didn't know any of that.
But it prevents you from having 12 inquiries when you walk out the inquiry. But you live and you learn, you feel what I'm saying? So
I got beat. So, I walk on that side, y'all. That's why we could have this valid conversation because I know a lot of you have made those moves or tried to make those moves and you haven't gotten the most favorable deals. High interest rates, low credit limits, shit that just doesn't work well, right? Yeah. And there's better moves that you could be making, evidently. If once you snatch this knowledge up and you apply it, you'll have an easier path to credit building than to go diving in on your own. And sometimes the trial and error won't actually make the best moves for you. You know what I mean? Like I've done some things. I've had my ups and downs. You know, I watched the little line graph. I'm like, damn, I'll take a dip, boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But all in my thing is the end game. You know what I mean? Because I come from low credit because of the moves that have been made, and the end game is to raise it up. So while I take those dips, I'm taking those dips in accordance with the end game. I'm making moves so that they look at me like, oh, he spent that, but he paid that, and then he spent it again, but he paid it again. Shit could get a little rocky, y'all, but be responsible with it, and surely it will build. Because they'll just start throwing it at you once they see you can handle it. Like he paid that $10,000 like it was nothing. Let's give him 20. Let's give him 50. Yeah.
And then from there, you start leveraging that. You know what I'm saying? Use the bank's money to make money, and then it's rinse and repeat.
Okay.
That's right. My man Cuban was trying to build his credit too, right? Cuban, he's just asking questions about that as well. He was talking to Luke about that. Because he doesn't have any accounts. So right now, like I said, that's what I told him. You gotta prepare his. You gotta use your method, like you said.
So that's the whole purpose of the ebook. The ebook is gonna show you how to add accounts if you have no credit, where there's no credit check, right? You just gotta put up some of the money, of course, right? But it's an investment in yourself. But you can get, a secured card, a secured loan, or start reporting your rent, right? Get, I know a lot of people heard of Self.
Or Chime.
Chime is cool.
Credit builder cards.
I'm not crazy about Chime just because there's no long-term relationship with them. Because remember, it's the end game. So you can't get business credit with Chime. You can't get a car loan with Chime. So you're better off getting a secured card.
It'll just be that card and that's it.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? So you're better off getting a secured card from like a Bank of America, a Navy Federal, a Capital One, where now you have that bank relationship. So you can go get a checking account and then get a secured card. And then in the future, get that car loan that I talked about, do the pre-approval, right? So that's why, Chime, Kickoff, all those credit builders are good for beginners. Like, if you're in college, just to learn about the basics create those good money habits.
Start building accounts and history.
Yeah, exactly. But now, once you get older, right, start building those relationships with the banks, with the secured credit cards. Open up a college checking account. I know Chase has one because that's where I first started. Chase college checking account. You got no fees, right? So you can utilize that. Start building with secured cards, and then from there it's up.
Okay,
that's it. It's about making activities, about making motions.
Just keeping active. So pretty much, I got to start making accounts that it's gonna be just active. Make secure cards and keep paying them.
Yeah, secure cards. Like I said, you can report your rent.
I didn't know that one. That's a good one.
That's. I mean.
Putting your utilities on the card.
Yeah, stuff
once
like.
you get the card.
Yeah, stuff like that. So start from there. Start having on-time payment history for like 6 to 9 months, and then you can start applying for the lower level cards. So like the Chase Freedom, the Chase Flex, and
that's what I got.
Even a Discover. Right, Discover will approve your dog.
The Apple card will approve
the Apple card. You know what I'm saying? And you can get the Apple card no inquiry. Right, which a lot of people don't know.
That's true.
So bro, there's
it's a lot of game getting dropped right now. Yeah.
So, but it's and the problem is a lot of people don't have patience because it can take 6 months, it can take 9 months to build. Sometimes it may take a year, right? Especially if you need to go through the repair phase, right? So, and a lot of people don't want to wait that long. But bro, a year goes by like this. 2020 was over 3 years ago, and I feel like this shit was last year.
And if you already had implemented those moves, you'll be in a better situation
by
today. Yeah, it's a fact.
It said the best time to start.
I jumped out the window trying to build my shit. I got like 14 accounts. I got some store cards and all that, but.
Fire.
The thing is, I had 0 accounts, and I'm about to make them look at me hard. So, while some of them are in high utilization, the payment every month is reflective, and it makes it look like they give me points, little points here and there, and it helps the client. But if you miss a payment, y'all, because I just missed a payment, I missed one recently.
They gonna hit you over the head.
They stole like 150 points from my
shit. Yeah. One late payment could drop your shit up. Yeah.
Boom. 150 points right off. I'm like, oh. But once I got back in good standing, they gave me the majority of those points back. Okay. Because it's back in good standing. They didn't give me all of them back. But they gave me the majority of them back. So now I got to get the rest back. You know what I'm saying?
You got to get your leg back.
Times get hard, or sometimes you may just be forgetful. And that's what happened with me. I'm like, oh, I forgot that one. And
to put it on automatic payments.
That one, yeah. I mean, I got like
set that shit automatic.
3 of them that were difficult with that. Like, couldn't make auto pay on PayPal. I got PayPal credit as well because I do things with that as well. PayPal will give you no interest for a while as well.
That's a fact.
So that's a good thing as well. I don't know how vital the credit is compared to other companies, but there was one of them. Yeah, it was one that I typically use. Yeah. So I'm like, let me just get a credit line from them because I use it all the time.
That's fire.
They gave me that, but what the hell was I saying now? See? Pardon me.
Nigga over there rambling.
No, but the utilization rate on all of those, on most of mine are pretty high, but it counts back every month. Yeah. So I got back most of my points. I'll get back the rest of them as I continue to make my minimum payments every month or a little bit more to knock down the balance. But sometimes some of those cards have high interest rates. That's what y'all want to be aware of.
Yeah, you gotta watch that.
You want to stay away from interest by paying your statement balance if you can in full, but if you go over and you make the minimum payment and they take an interest, be aware of what those interest rates are because some of them are through the roof.
They skyrocket.
Add up.
You end up giving the company a lot more money for your credit, for what you borrowed. You know what I mean? Yeah. You gotta be aware of that. So let's get past the individual credit building because I could talk about that all day.
You and I both.
I had a mess, and I'm still going through it. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about how we for the individuals who are trying to leverage their personal credit into getting business credit lines. Let's talk about that a little bit for the business funding because some of us want to know about that as well because we aspire to create a business here as well with the Spittlez. Yeah. And this is the stuff we need to learn as we go along and create our LLC and everything as well. So
I'm somebody that likes to keep things like simple, right, and like have a roadmap. So very similar to the personal credit where I have repair, build, leverage. You already know I got something for the business credit. So it's the 3 S's: structure, set up, and secure the bag. Right? Structure, set up, secure the bag. Super simple.
Pay attention.
Right? So first, you want to make sure that your personal credit is structured properly. So, of course, once you get through the building phase, you want to have that 700. You want to have a utilization. Most people say below 30%, but before you go to apply for anything, you want to keep it under 10% because you're going to maximize your score. Right? A lot of people don't know that. Of course, you want to have very little inquiries. You say you had 12. Before you apply for something, you want to have like 3 or less.
Yeah, you got to wait till they're removed after a couple of years.
They come off after 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Right, and then you definitely want to have at least like 2 years of history. That's why it's important to start building today, right? You start building today, you start adding the history, and you can also add what's called the authorized user, which just means that like somebody who has good credit and is responsible, they have to be responsible. That's the most important thing. They're gonna add you to their credit card as an authorized user. You're not going to use the card. The only purpose is that you're going to get their credit history. So if they have a 10,000 limit, now you have a 10,000 limit on an authorized user that shows up on your report.
Nice.
If they have 4 years of history, now you have 4 years of history. So now you add it to the 8.
Most of us don't know about that one either.
You know what I'm saying? And then you also want to have at least like 7 or 8 accounts. You got 14, so you chilling.
A couple of them are store cards, but
hey, listen, it still counts.
It's showing that I handled these debts responsibly. Yes,
it still counts, right? So once again, the Credit Builder ebook is going to show you how to add all these accounts and build that history. So then, right? So that's the first S. You got structure. Now with setup, you want to make sure that your business is set up properly. You don't want to be out here looking ghetto, right? So make sure you have a business phone number, a business email. Of course, your LLC setup. You go to LegalZoom, Rocket Lawyer, InkFile. It's like $200-300. You know what I'm saying? So you just search how to start my LLC, how to structure it. Right? So super simple. So that's the setup part. And then of course, my favorite part is securing the bag. So once your credit structured, once your business is set up, now go ahead with these banks that you built a relationship with, whether it's Chase, Navy Federal, Capital One. Go and ask them for some business credit, right? So that's how you turn up with the business credit.
And remember, when you're doing this, you want to be sure that what you're looking to invest this credit line into is lucrative, and you're gonna
and
pay this back.
it's gonna be paid back.
That's the most. That's the
Some
most.
people don't
important.
think just go get the bag.
And that's it.
And it sounds good to
Now
have
it's
No,
party.
that bag has to come with a plan.
You
It
feel me?
can't
You
just
gotta
be,
pay that bag back.
let me get the bag and just run it up. No, we gotta get the bag and let's invest it back.
And you
into
gotta pay that
actually
bag
what-
back and win at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
saying you
yeah,
gotta make
yeah,
sure
yeah.
you're doing it for the right things.
Yo, I'm glad you touched on that because I feel like a lot of people out here, especially on these social media streets, is promoting. Oh, listen, go get 100K in funding, go get 50K. But a lot of people again that never had 50K in funding.
What are you
and now
doing with
they're-
it?
Yeah.
And now they have no plan for it, so now they start spending it on concerts. They
shit.
start doing this. They go to Beyonce. They, you know what I'm saying? So
They
and
buy a
now-
car.
And now you got no way to pay back the debt, and now you're back to square one. Now you have to repair your credit all over again. You
Exactly.
feel what I'm saying? So before
fall into debt.
that's one thing I preach. Before like we even get on the phone to talk about how much credit you want, what's the plan in place? Do you want to run
Exactly.
ads? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to get into real estate? Do you want to start a podcast?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like just
how
have
do you
some
intend
type
on
of
paying this
have
back?
a blueprint.
something.
And how
Pretty
are you
much.
using it for you? Like, you shouldn't just get it to pay it back. You should be getting it to make money out of it,
Yep.
flip it. Make an investment out of it, stretch it, so
Yep.
that when you pay it back, you still have. You know what I mean? And something that's gonna keep going.
It's just all about having a blueprint
Yeah.
and sticking to that
Make
blueprint.
sure it's the right investment.
Stay the
Remember,
course.
they just
And-
lending
and
you that.
That's
you know?
it. Yep. You know you got to get that
and
back.
that's all a part of the topic of financial literacy, because most of us were not taught how to handle money, bro.
Yeah, money management. Listen,
Fiscal responsibility, everything.
If
don't
you have
know
trouble
about these
managing
things.
money, one of the best books that helped me is Rich Dad Poor Dad. A lot of people talk about that book, but Rich Dad Poor Dad really changed my mindset about money. And
That's dope.
he pretty much talks about assets and liabilities. And simply put, assets are things that puts money in your pocket. Liabilities are things that take money out your pocket, right? So a car can be both. A car can be a liability because you're just spending it, or you can start a car rental business. Now it's an asset because it's making you money. You get what I'm saying? So
sir.
that book changed my whole perspective. And now when you spend money, oh damn, it's a liability. I'm buying these new J's, or I'm buying this, I'm buying, concert tickets. That's not putting no money in my pocket, but
Exactly.
buying mics, buying, cameras, that's putting money in your pocket long term, because
Exactly.
now, you have a platform, you bring dope people like me on,
That's
super
an
appreciative
investment to
that.
make your money come back.
Exactly.
Tenfolds.
Yes,
Exactly.
to flip your money. Most of us aren't taught that, flipping the money and stretching our money. We're taught you got this, see what you can do with this.
And do what you can do
until
now.
Until you get more.
That's
See
why
what you can do
mentorship
now.
is important, right? You have to be around people who treat their money well, right? So and watch their habits, because
That environment, because
That's a
sometimes
fact.
it's not right in front of us. It's not.
your life is
not-
all
not
about
in
your
our
habits.
household.
It's all about your habits. So
It's
if,
what you do
if
every day.
I'm trying to be a multimillionaire, I'm going to invest in coaching programs run by multimillionaires and see, okay, that's what he does with his money. Oh, he pays himself first. Oh, he takes a percentage of his money every paycheck and puts it in the stock market, or puts it back into himself, buys more coaching, right, to take himself to the next level.
Yep.
So watch their habits and
Watch
just
what
follow what they do.
Yeah, watch what they do
See
to
what I'm
make
saying?
their money grow. Because they're not readily telling you. That doesn't mean you can't go and chase the
Just
knowledge
watch
on
their
your
habits.
own.
Just
You have to change what you're looking at.
Exactly.
You know?
Perspective is
And
everything.
even those of us those of us with children and everything, this is good to learn, right? Keep it for your family, so you can teach your
fact.
children this and keep that growing through the generations, where they know how to manage money, how important it is to have credit. Because some of us come
Keep
from the
everything
households
clean.
where that isn't a conversation at all.
At all.
And like I said, money is slim. We're not talking about how to get more.
Yeah.
Just recently, I aspired to go into business for myself because I want to make my own earnings
That's a fact.
and get the whole pie, because I've been getting minuscule earnings my entire life, and I feel like there's so much I want to do, but some of us can't really do it with the little bit that we have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that creates a mind state where you feel like, oh, this is not available to me.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not
yeah,
available
yeah,
to me.
yeah.
I don't know what to do with this anyway, and
You gotta expose yourself to more, though. I think it's
Yeah,
super
fact.
important to
you
expose
gotta get in
yourself.
the right conversations. In the
And
right
an easy
rooms.
way to do that me and my boys been doing is going to free events. I mean, hop on Eventbrite.
Or
It's a
read some
website.
books. Read some books. too.
Read some books, YouTube podcasts, like this even, you know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? And
Something that's gonna give you some knowledge.
Eventbrite, so Eventbrite is so most people use it to find parties, but if you type in like business events, you'll see a whole list of events. Yeah, some are paid, but there's free events that you can go to, like Last year I went to an American Express event. It was completely free at the Javits Center. I met so many business owners. There's like little
That's dope.
Like they had little segments on like how to like money management. You could speak to people on how to market your business. They have grants for small business owners. I mean, so just imagine
that brought his the vision.
You know what I mean?
All he did was just look it up and was like, "Fuck it, I want to go," and I'm gonna
Do
go.
the research and apply
You can
yourself.
do that too. Check out Eventbrite and tap into those business seminars, and you can gather some insight. Start being in the room with people that have that
Like-minded
mind state.
people.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you transition. That's how you change, and that goes with any field that you dive into.
That's a
fact.
Get into that room. Have those conversations with those people. You know, aspire to be like them and more. You know what I mean? That's really what it's about. You know, that's
and
what
you see
you
that
got,
things are
right?
possible. Yeah, you see that things are possible. Because me, like, it would be crazy to some people spending $5,000 on mentorship, or somebody making $100,000 in a day, which sounds wild. But my mentor's done it multiple times.
It does sound wild.
So it sounds crazy, but then like,
I know someone doing it, but like when he told me about it too, I mean, I don't have the $5,000 to invest right now, and I would, I wish I could, because I believe in him. I do. I believe in him. I believe he's making the bag, and I wish I could dive in, but
It's not.
He's a day trader, and he's making a lot of money.
Day traders make a lot with options, forex, you name it. There's a lot of money out there,
Told
right?
me to tap in, but
you have to be exposed to more. So if you don't know, if you're, and no disrespect to anybody working a salary job, shout out to my 9-to-5ers, but if you're only making, say 40, 50, 60,000, and you're around people who's making that much, you don't believe that you can make your salary in one day. But when you meet people that can show you Stripe accounts, or okay, listen, I'll give you a perfect example. I spent $5,000 on the mentorship, right? There was over 100 people in that mentorship, or it was like 50 people in the group. Just do the math.
Yeah, 50 times 100,000.
You feel what I'm saying?
It's a bag. That's all it is.
Just do the math. So it's
quarter
like,
bag.
and that blew my mind. I'm like, oh shit. So and he's pouring into the community, and he's making a bag off for that. Yo, that's dope. So now that expanded my mind to like, okay, so if I just teach people my process that I walk through and speed up the learning curve for them, I can charge 2, 3, 4, 5,000 because I can help them make 10, 15, 20,000. Oh, let's get it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
that's
just
a sound
perspective.
investment, because especially if you're seeing people take that and flip it off, that's a sound investment. I was telling you, I've heard about it as well. I just haven't dived in.
Solid investment.
I do have plans on learning more about that. But I own some crypto and stuff as well.
Oh, nice.
Don't really know what I'm doing with that either, but.
We'll get there.
I intend on figuring it out.
We'll get there. That's why I said
these
you'll get there.
networks that we build all the time. I got,
Listen, your network is your network.
And other people that have spoken about this. I'm trying to dive in and figure this thing out, man. We all.
Yo, this is what I love about collaborating too, right? Because if you tell me, hey Cam, I'm trying to get into the car rental business. I got people running Toro private rentals that I'll put you onto. Like, yo, listen, this is my guy. He's running shit here, and he'll show you how to get into the business with no cars, where you're just a broker, you
just middleman in the whole thing.
You just middleman in, getting PC. But if you have 3, 4, 5 cars, now you're making money, and now you could take that money, fix your credit, go get your own cars, now start your own business, and you already know how to run it. You get what I'm saying? So that's a whole play right there.
That's a big
and you got to work. You got to make these moves. You
got to put the
when
footwork
we sit
out
here and
there.
have these conversations, we want you to know that the work must be done.
That's a fact.
You can't avoid the work.
Knowing is only half the job. You heard?
Doing it.
You got to get to it as well.
Ain't nothing but to do it.
There's a lot to get to, and this world is elevating, man. And I see people around me every day, and a lot of people aspire to grow. Kudos to everyone out there.
And everybody should want to aspire to grow.
There's a ton of stuff out there that's accessible nowadays to us, and there's so much we can do. It's all in front of you, man. You just got to be looking in the right places
and willing to go grab it.
Yeah.
That's all it's really
about. Because I talked about before accessibility. Remember in the beginning of our podcast,
it's about wanting to go grab it,
like,
and how
sometimes
bad are
the
you
shit
to
is
grab
right
it.
in front of you. Yo, I'll give you a good example. When I got my first car, it was a white Nissan Sentra 2015. I didn't care about no white cars. As soon as I got that white Sentra, I'm seeing white Sentras everywhere. Or just Nissan.
That's the Matrix.
Nissan, you feel
It's
me?
the Matrix.
Right?
You went to
Because
the
why?
Matrix.
It happens all the time.
Because now I'm open to it because now I'm paying attention. So there's a lot of stuff right in front of us that
So think about that.
we're just not
We
open
don't even
to.
know.
You start looking at that credit building.
Yeah,
You gonna start seeing credit building all around you.
Yo, I'm telling you,
And you
you'll
be
start
right
seeing
into the matrix.
True.
That
You
shit
start
is
seeing the
just
commercials.
That's when I started taking off photography too. I start seeing things everywhere that just dives me into that. Yeah.
So
That's a
it's
fact.
I apply that to
true.
life. I apply that to life.
That's true. I never thought that was a gem. That was a gem.
Perspective.
That ass nigga said I bought the Nissan.
Listen, that's what I came up here to drop. I came up to the Spittlez to drop gems. You know
And I felt that because we know that to be true. Because Cuban said that shit recently.
Matrix.
Cuban bought a Subaru Forester, right?
Yeah.
And he said, I see Foresters everywhere now.
Every single wheel.
You would never care about Forester before you
Never
copped it.
before I
Forester,
copped
what
it
the
a
hell is
Forester.
And nigga, it's not that you see the Forester though. You
I
be
see
seeing
his-
your
yours.
car.
Yours.
See, I
Your
see
car.
Forester, like,
the same rims.
Same. Dude, that Corolla I'm driving right now, you know how many Corollas I see just like that on the
You know what I'm
road?
saying? Like, damn, huh? They just tapped me into the matrix.
Yeah.
I'm
That's a
tapped
fact.
in now.
This is
baby.
real.
You know what's funny though? I may sound crazy. I may be stretching it a little bit, but I got two cars.
Okay.
And I feel like when I'm driving that specific car, I see that specific car more.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause when I'm driving the other car more, I see that other car more. It's something
because
about
you're
it.
in the car. It's just
It is the Matrix, man. It's the
crazy.
fucking Matrix. It's the Matrix. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's some weird shit, man.
That's
But
crazy.
start setting your sights on the things that are beneficial to your life. Start looking at those things, and you will see it more.
That
you will
ass.
see it
that
everywhere
shit
you go.
replay in your. You think about music, everything should be music.
Yep.
See it. You think about
Yup.
credit, see it.
Photography.
Think about podcasts, see it.
The more you see it, the more you be it.
And everybody can relate to
Can't say it
that.
any better than that.
Everybody can relate to that. They seen anything they grab now. They just see it all the time.
You know, that's
So-
what I'm saying. I tell people all the time. Lil Russell, the rapper, right? He said, "How could you be what you never see?" When he said that, I felt that shit.
Yo, it's real shit.
Cause that shit is true, B. Like you
Real
really don't think it's meant for you. You really don't think it's out there for you because you've never seen it happen to someone like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you look around more, you see that it is.
All
You see
over.
that it is happening. You know, I met this gentleman from Dykeman the other day when I do Uber as well, right? You do carry as well. We meet people all the time. I met this dude a marketing guy from Dykeman. He said he grew up in Dykeman. He lives all the way in fucking the boondocks in the mountains, bro, right now. He has a home out there, but he still comes to the city to do business. So I drove him from down there over here. Bro, he's like I looked at him, I'm like, bro, he came from the same background as us. We're having stories about our childhood and shit. He come from the same background. And look at him, he's making figures, doing something. You have to be able to identify what you're good at, amplify that, and chase it. Chase it all the way. Chase it all the way, seriously, because it's out there for us. It really is.
That's a big fact. All we got to do is go grab it.
Set your sights on things that are lucrative to you. Like I said, financial literacy is not something that was given to us in our household. That doesn't mean that it's not available to you. Go out there, search for it, and you shall find it. Cause I know I did. Seriously,
Simple as
I needed
that.
some credit repair. I'm still finding it right now. We got Cam in the building telling us about things that I didn't like. I'm about to report my rent
That's a
ASAP.
fact.
ASAP. Consider it done.
Get to it.
He said, get right to that.
You know what I'm saying?
Get right to it.
Luke was in the building too. Shout outs to Luke.
Look, shout out to CEO Academy. CEO
Shout
Academy.
out to CEO Academy and everything they've been doing. You heard? Big ups to them.
Running it up.
Big ups.
Yeah, man.
Shout
And
out
then we
to
got to
Gerard.
keep having these conversations, and not only here, but in our homes, with our families. We got to keep talking about the things that can help us build financially for generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? I saw a post the other day about building legacy. You know? They said, And they were like, don't live for the moment and build for the moment. Build for your legacy. It's a broader picture. You know,
it's bigger than you.
It's a larger absence. There's abundance in that. You know what I mean? Because that's wealth over time. You know what I mean? You're not building wealth for this month, not this year. You know, you're building wealth for a lifetime, for all time. You know what I mean?
Planting seeds. You gotta plant seeds.
Yes, sir.
You gotta keep them growing.
Real shit. Real shit.
So we could chop it up a little bit more. I want to know the challenges you've encountered when going through your credit building processes, because I know we all had a little bit of hiccups. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if you didn't, bless you.
Nah,
anyone out there too, if you was
everybody
clean with
goes
it,
through challenges. I think everybody goes through challenges. I think people are just not willing to admit and be vulnerable about their challenges. You get what I'm saying? But I went through mad challenges even having all this credit, because I got 6 figures in credit in like 10 months, right? So, and I'm just throwing money here. Oh, shit, I'm gonna invest in this, I lost 5 figures because I'm just, putting money here and there, whatever. That was a huge loss for me, right? So it's like
you were trying to flip it.
Yeah, and way too quick, and not really, put the work in as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at all these ideas. Yeah, let's make passive income, and it sounds too good to be true. And then you start losing money here, losing money there. So
then don't come back to you. Then
you feel what I'm saying? So my best advice is focus on one thing, because that was my problem. Like I wanted to get into car rent, I wanted to get into credit repair, I wanted to get into this. Like, focus on one thing until you're good at that, and then you can move on to the next thing. Until, you master that, like the back of your hand, and then move on to the next thing. But that was one of my biggest mistakes. Like, I had all this money, and I was just, putting it in so many different places instead of just having that tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, yeah, to make sure you're investing in the right place so that you can bring it back. Amplifying your focus on that, too. That's what, like we just said, you know what I'm saying? You got to see that all the way, every day, so you can amplify it. That is the truth. I've been in bad investments. I'm sure we all have. You know what I mean?
We all take losses.
You say, hey, let me try this out. You know what I mean? But
that's how you bounce back from them.
And they not losses. They learning experiences.
Yep.
Lessons. Always. I don't take lessons.
Temporary failures. It's all a part of the stats anyway, right? You got us to be real. You know what I mean? And if there was any like real sound advice that you want to give to our community about this journey and its importance? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. The 2 things that stand out is, one, you got to change your environment. I think your environment is going to be the biggest factor to your development and your habits. One thing that one of my mentors said, he said, it's hard to do the wrong thing around the right people. But the reverse is also true, right? So the first thing I said, it's hard to do the wrong thing around the right people. So if you're trying to stop smoking and you hang around, people who smoke all day, it's gonna be really hard. I mean, if you're trying to stop smoking and hanging out with people who don't smoke, say they have a corporate job, it's gonna be hard to smoke around them because you don't want to look bad.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's hard to do the wrong thing around those right people.
But the opposite is true too. It's hard to do the right thing around the wrong people.
That's
so going
true.
to what I first said, if you're trying to stop smoking but you're hanging around, potheads who roll up all day, every day, it's going to be real hard for you to stop smoking. So your environment is going to be the biggest factor to your development, right? So that's the first thing I could tell you. And then I think that people need to just better themselves more, right? I think a lot of people are scared to better themselves. I mean, you got people on FanDuel all day betting on Jimmy Butler, Tatum, stuff like that. Listen, bet on yourself. That's the best. That's the best.
Everybody betting on another nigga to win.
You feel? Yeah.
Instead of betting on themselves.
The most important person. You feel what I'm saying?
Bet on yourself.
You never lose when you bet on yourself, right? So bet on yourself, and then that's one thing that I learned through like the whole pandemic, because we spoke about 2020, right? And I think it really gave me time. Shout out to all the people that we lost. 'Cause I lost, some people during the pandemic, right? So rest in peace to them. But on a positive note, I think it gave me a lot of time just to sit with myself and see, okay, what flaws do I have that's holding me back? You know what I'm saying? And once you learn yourself, and it's very hard to, have that like criticism on yourself, because you don't want to admit that you may have flaws or red flags, as people call them today, but we do. We all got them, right? So it just like learn from them. See, okay, listen, what do I want my life to look like, and then how does that person act? What are their habits? What's their morning routine? Do they hit the gym? Do they eat right? Do they go on a diet? Do they, hit up events and conferences? Do podcasts like the Spittlez and stuff like that? You feel me? And then all you got to do is just stay consistent with those habits, and over time, those habits are going to turn into the person you want to be.
That's true indeed. That's a sound advice right there.
I'm
following that right now too. I'm gonna follow that too, because that's what I want to do that as well. And that's what I look in my endeavors. I look towards the people that I aspire to be.
Yeah.
What are they doing? How are they moving? How did they become successful? And I'm trying to tap into that as well. So, and there's a lot of things, fitness and everything. I talk about this most recently all year. I told Cuban, I got a gym membership and everything. I'm trying to make these advent changes.
Let's get it.
So that we can start, because like you say, you look at that person and say, look how they're living.
Yeah.
How can I live like that as well? What can I do to live like that as well?
Now, don't get it twisted with like comparing yourself. It's it's a positive comparison, not as if like, damn, I wish I had that, or I'm better than him at this.
No.
Nah, listen, just learn from them, because you know we could all be students of the game,
Yes.
right? Learn from them, like, okay, listen, what are they doing? Like, damn, that's dope, but how can I do that and throw my own twist to it?
Yes.
So it's no
look to others for inspiration.
Inspiration.
Yes,
That's a
exactly.
perfect word. That's
Exactly.
the perfect word. Inspiration.
Don't look at them and say, "Damn, why they like that and I'm not." You know what I'm saying? You gotta put that work in. You gotta
Can't
do
avoid the work.
the moves. You gotta make the moves that they made to get there, to be with them. And we're not saying chase after people and be just like them either.
Copy them. Nah.
But who
Do
do
your
you?
own thing.
What
Put
do
your own
what do
sauce
you
on
aspire to be? Now it's not who do you aspire to be, but what do you aspire to be? And if that thing is that image, become that image. You know, that is a fact. And I love that. I love that because that's how we try to build people through our platform here by showing them the people that are making moves, by showing them that we can make moves. We start from a little, we gain a lot, we keep building. And you all have been here this whole time with us, and we appreciate each and every one of you
Shout
as a
out to
part
the
of our
viewers.
community. Big
Shout out to the
facts.
viewers. Shout out
Because
to the
as we building, we've been building from scratch, man. We had little to nothing, put this together, and we keep building. We keep meeting new networks and strengthening that connectivity to keep expanding, you know, on so many levels, you know. And it's still a day-by-day battle, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But-
listen, it's not easy. Trust me, I know it's not easy.
But we got our eyes on the end game.
I respect the process too. Just like seeing you guys set up in the back and right, like all these dope angles, and you doing like, I mean, yo, that's so dope.
Yes,
a lot of
sir.
respect. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how hard it is for me to, or how hard it was for me to come up in the credit game. But it's no different, you know, than
In
an
every
athlete
game.
or a podcaster. It's
the same
same
shit.
work ethic, just different. Different vehicle,
environment.
different
Yeah,
environment.
exactly. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
Different
I can
game.
see like all the work that goes into this, and knowing that you guys are just getting started. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So it's super dope to
Just
be a
still
part
trying to
of.
find an intern for the behind the scene for the computer. So anybody that's feel like
Tap
they want to be
in.
involved,
Tap in.
come tap in, man, because there's plenty of space to get involved here. There's a lot to be done and a lot that we can grow this into. And I always invite people to come get on board, man. Seriously, because you know how it is. It's when you started doing things in the beginning too, you was like, yo, you told your homies too, yo, you need to know about this. Come on, get on board.
Yo, you know what's crazy? And let me speak on that briefly. That was one of the hardest things for me. Like, you unconsciously outgrow your homies, right? And yo, it's tough because it's like, yo,
start
I'm
having
putting
different
people on. Like,
conversations.
yo, bro, I just got a $25K card. I just got a $20,000 card, and they still, and it's nothing wrong with them still wanting to either hang out on the block or club and party and turn up. That's cool, but I'm seeing it from I'm seeing it from the end game.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? But it's hard because
Tunnel
you
vision,
can't-
like I always say.
you feel me? But you can't
You ain't got time for that.
you
really.
can't bring everybody with you. And one quote that I seen recently that I dropped on a post, it was like, you're not always gonna eat with who you starved with. And that was so tough for me to learn. Like, yo, I have mad homies. I still got mad love
beautiful.
for them. You know, I consider them like family. But we're just on two different paths. We're on two different chapters in our lives. And that's cool. But where I'm trying to go, like, I can't bring everybody.
That's a fact.
I can drop down the rope, but I can't drag you up there with me, because that holds me back from my bigger purpose and pouring into more people who really want to actually, you know, people like the viewers on here that actually want to get the information and actually execute and better their life.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes, sir. And I feel that, yes, sir, because it's true. Everybody can't go because some people have that. And you know, I come from this. We all come from this environment, the crab bucket mentality.
Everybody
where
wanna pull each other
crabs in the
down.
barrel, yo.
if I ain't going, you ain't going. You know what I mean?
And I think that's the street that's the street mentality when you trap, or like, you know, you sell drugs or whatever the case may be.
I just grow up with. I
Because-
just grow up with those type of friendships because.
And it was always not those type of friendships too, because even the work environment it'd be like that too. When you work
Oh
with
yeah,
people,
that's
too.
true. It's not even the personal level. You're right.
Nah,
It's
that's a
everything.
fact.
Yeah.
That's a
Everything,
fact.
because even in a regular job, niggas still try to pull you down because you're not gonna do better than me.
Yeah, that's a
And
fact.
he don't even know
You're
you.
not gonna get a raise
Yeah.
before
Yeah,
me.
I've been here longer. Yeah, that's true.
what?
That
It's
happens.
just
so-
people have to get that
so
out
much.
their mind. That's that hater mentality. It's just
Exactly.
when people stop hating each other, that's when everything will possibly work better.
And there's enough money out there for everybody to eat. I can't help everybody fix their credit. So I want to put you onto the game so you can put somebody else on
Yes,
game
sir.
And
and
then
show them how to
he
pay
could
the
tell
rent.
somebody else,
Yes,
and he
sir.
could tell somebody else, and he could tell somebody else, and then
And spread that.
It's just spread
Yes.
the word.
It's rather than spreading negativity about it and spreading hate or whatever.
Yeah, nonsense.
Just spread the awareness and the love and the knowledge, and just spread the things that are positive for us.
Yes, sir.
That's why we come together here, man. That's why we come together here. That's why we come together in life with those people that matter. Like he said, change your environment. If you're not having these conversations, go sit in the rooms where they're having these conversations. Start talking to these type of people. You know, you see somebody out there in the streets and you look like that may be that guy that knows. Let me ask him a question. You know what I mean? You never know what that answer may be.
That's a fact.
I talk to randos all day, bro. I drive a cab.
That's a fact.
Some people give you the most insightful shit too. I be learning sometimes.
Real shit.
Having conversations. I was with this interesting woman today. She owns a optometrist, optical place. She sells glasses, her and her husband, and she was telling me the business. She's like, look, because I told her about my broadcast, and she's like, look, I actually have a business, and I actually went through the hoops and everything, so I can talk a little bit about that.
That's
so we had a conversation on the challenges she faced getting into it. You know what I mean? She probably could have used some of this business funding as well. You know what I mean? She probably could have got some of these cards Cam was talking about. You know what I mean? You never know. You know what I mean?
Turn over the business.
I'm gonna tell her to go watch this episode.
No, hopefully she's watching that.
Right? Hopefully she is.
Shout out to you. Shout out to you. But to speak on your point, and you know what I briefly spoke on is one of my favorite quotes is, if you can't change the people around you, you have to change the people around you. Right? If you can't change the people around you, you got to change the people around you.
That?
Meaning change your environment. If I can't change my homies on the block, like, yo, bro, come get this credit, I got to put myself in a different environment and change the people who's around me.
Yeah, don't change the people that are there. Change those people to different people.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So you have a different perspective. And that should change the game for me, because going back to the environment, you know, better habits. Like, what are the habits of $250,000 Cam? He's going to the gym in the morning. He's doing this. He's doing podcasts. So I'm acting like $250,000 Cam, and it's gonna catch up to me.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. You're gonna get there because you're acting like that. You gotta be it now. Be it now.
Before it happens, you gotta be a millionaire before you're a millionaire.
You gotta live it out. Yep. That's how you get there.
You gotta be a millionaire.
Know that it's inevitable.
You gotta be a millionaire here before you're a millionaire in your bank account.
That's that inevitability I be speaking about. You gotta paint it out to be inevitable. It's already yours.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You gotta go and get it.
Yes, sir. So we're about to wrap this up.
Man, that shit was dope.
Can you tell everybody can you tell our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful community where they can find you out?
Shout out to the community. Yeah. So I'm most active on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram, wealthycam _ at the end. That's wealthycam _. I actually just started being active on YouTube. So wealthycam, same on YouTube. I'm gonna start dropping a lot of dope content, and of course, I got the free community coming. You know, you guys don't even have to, you know, pay me for anything. Check out the free community first. Of course, tap into the ebook. All you gotta do is DM me. DM me the word Spittlez, and I got you guys.
Yes, sir. You heard him. DM the Spittlez to his IG. wealthycam _
Yes, sir.
You got the free community for you to tap into as well and get these gems straight from the source.
Straight up.
Come on, man. That's what we bringing to y'all, because we need to know these things. Y'all need to know these things.
We all need to know.
Y'all need to know. That need to know these things.
We told y'all at the beginning. We told y'all at the beginning. It's gonna be each one teach one.
Each one teach one.
That's how we gonna do it.
We thought that faded, right? We trying to bring that back. You know what I mean?
Bring it back. We told
y'all. Each one teach one. I learned something. You learned something.
One washed the other. They both washed the face, and that's what we trying to bring back here.
Yes, sir.
Now I want to give you guys your flowers too, right? Because you guys are finding like dope guests. You know, my guy Luke, he's a super dope person, and then you know, you guys taking your time out your night too, because I know you guys are busy. You guys got family and stuff like that. You know, you guys could be home, you know, chilling, watching TV, you know, laid up with whoever. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But you know, you're here spreading game and empowering the people. I mean, yo, that's super dope. So I definitely want to, you know, holler at you guys. You know, shout out to the Spittlez. I definitely want to come back here. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely can. You're more than welcome. Everybody's always more than welcome. Everybody. We tell that to every single body that comes here. You can come back anytime.
You haven't been here. Let's
go. Even if you in the area on a Tuesday night, you can come sit yourself right there on that couch and come just chill.
You could be right here in the background.
It don't matter. Doing the real claps in the back. You heard?
Always talk about that.
Live audience.
And whenever you want to get scheduled to put back on, brother, we can put you right back on. You more
Yes,
than
sir,
welcome.
because we know we can have a lot more conversations, man.
Nah,
you know,
for sure. We
there
can
was
talk
a lot
about
more.
life. We can talk about shit. We can talk
there was
about
more shit I
everything.
wanted. We wanted to touch up on, but
Listen,
you know,
we
we
have to
just
do a part 2 in it. We're gonna have to do a part 2.
You know what I'm saying? You got to come
ready.
back.
We set it up.
I'm pretty sure, you know, we're going to be making moves and things are going to get larger, and then we're going to have to speak to that. So let's keep.
That's gonna be dope to see, right? So like, you know, kind of see where we are now, and then see where we are, say, you know, 3 months from now when we get back on here. We gotta be in a whole different path,
whole different conversations,
Big
and
fact.
how we took what we learned today and applied it. Come on, let's
yeah.
talk
And
about
where it
this.
took us and where it led us. Oh
Man,
man,
y'all want to see the
It's gonna
proof,
be
right?
lit.
We're
It's
gonna
gonna
have
be lit.
Wealthy Camp come back up, and we're gonna talk about the
Proofs
proof
in the
of
pudding.
the actions taken
That's saying
by
proofs in the
utilizing
pudding.
this
nigga.
advice that you got here today. You heard?
Listen, success has receipts. Patient CEO, one of my other mentors. Success has receipts. Gotta show the receipts. Gotta show the testimonies. You know the vibes.
Yes, sir.
You know the vibe.
How you get the how you get the receipts though?
You gotta execute. You
Gotta get that.
First the blueprint is on me, but the execution is on you. Gotta execute.
You gotta make those moves. There's no way around it.
You feel me?
You know what I'm
No
saying?
way.
You
Ain't
take
no
this
way
knowledge, you
around.
acquire this knowledge here, you dive into more, go down your own rabbit hole, figure things out. You never know what you could teach us. So
Facts.
dive in, go forward, and make those moves because these moves are important. I know it firsthand, you know it firsthand, Cuban knows it firsthand. We're all trying to build here in different levels too. As you can see, we come from different standpoints when it comes to credit repair and building, but it's all the same path because you know why? It all leads to the same end game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no matter what moves you may be taking, find out how you can learn more and make the right moves because some of us are just making rampant moves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But make the right moves, make the sound moves by tapping into the advice that you can find here or find the Wealthy Cam on his IG. Or,
Tap in.
you know what I mean? It's out there in the world to you. It's accessible to you, and don't ever think that it's not.
Or keep revisiting this episode. If you can't find time, you can keep tapping in and you'll learn a thing or two there.
Yes, sir.
You
Subscribe to
understand?
the Spittlez on YouTube. Visit us on IG. We always tell you that you can hit us in the DM if you would like to suggest any topics of discussion. If you would like to make an appearance yourself or right here at this table, feel free to message us at the Spittlez on IG. Or hit us up on YouTube. I'm pretty sure YouTube messages too. Everything messages.
Everything
You heard? I'll give you my
messages
number if I
nowadays.
have to. You heard?
Everything messages
Tap in.
nowadays.
You heard? And as always, we thank y'all. We thank you too,
Nah,
bro.
man,
For real,
appreciate you
because-
guys for having me, man. This was a
doubt.
super dope convo. And just
doubt.
like, I mean, from the vibes to the hospitality to the,
Yes, sir.
listen,
And
shout out
it's
to you
normal
guys.
shit. And we, like you said, change your environment. That's what me and Cuban are doing too. We expanding our environment.
Yeah.
We're trying to acquire the knowledge that's out there available to us because these are things that we have to learn for our path too,
Yeah,
bro.
for sure,
You
for
know what I'm
sure.
saying? Everything, the business funding, the things that we've learned from previous guests as well. Shout out to all of our previous guests.
Shout out to the
We took
guests.
something from
Shout out to
everyone,
everybody.
and we're going to continue to build together alongside of each other. And we're going to see each other at the top, and that's what's real valid. You know what I'm
See you
saying?
at the top.
And with that being said, I'm going to say goodnight to you all. And we thank y'all for joining us every week here at the Spittlez. We love y'all, and we appreciate all the support that you give us on a week-to-week basis. Feel free to hit us up, like I said, give us any suggestions, concerns, anything you would like to tell us, any insight you would like to share on how we can improve our platform. We're always appreciative of that, so feel free to reach out to us. And we thank y'all, we love y'all, and we will see y'all next week when we bring it back to chill with y'all all over again. You heard?
Let's get it.
Thank y'all, we love y'all, and y'all have a good night. See you next week.